Hello and welcome to Unnatural, a brand new show from the Sci-Fi channel that brings supernatural stories to life. My name is Daniel Hardman, I'm a professional hypnotist and I'll be your regular host for the series. Coming up on our show we have two guests joining me who are all here to share their paranormal stories of what they know. However, two of these stories are completely made up and only one of these shocking horrors is actually true. Tonight's episode is based in the small northern city of Preston, which has its fair share of creepy stories to go around. Preston is known to have its fair share of haunted buildings, and this evening we'll be joined by two locals who are here to share their experiences, but who will you believe? In tonight's programme we'll be hearing about the Miley Tunnel, and we also have stories regarding Longridge Railway Track. At the end of the show it'll be left up to you and myself, the judge, the story's been based on fact, and if you'd like to play along at home, all you have to do is log on to our website, which is sci-fi.com/unnatural, which is on your screens now, where you'll be able to give your opinions on our online voting poll. So let's have our first guest, Lauren Oakes, a 20-year-old student from Preston who spent her life growing up on the streets of Longridge Railway. Hi Lauren. Welcome to the show, and can you tell us a bit about your story?
Yeah, hi. Well, it was in 1930 that Longridge Railway, which ran through Lancashire, was given a stop at Whittington Hospital, which was eventually known as Whittington Mental Hospital. It was around the same time that several disappearances happened from the hospital, with patients actually managing to leave the premises. Fortunately, a couple of patients were caught wandering down to the railroad and they were returned to the hospital, but some of the patients were never seen again, and it was believed that they used the railway to get to Liverpool docks and beyond.
So you say this happened in the 1930s. Has there been any incidents since that point?
Yeah, well, other more recent accounts suggest that perhaps the patients never actually left the railway. Locals of Longridge, they've claimed that they can hear screaming, and there's been a couple of accounts of passers-by seeing figures in the hospital gowns walking about.
So you're local in this area. Has the event affected your life in any way?
Yeah, well, growing right up right next to the railway meant that I was in contact with it almost daily, and I've always been able to hear noises during the night, but I never believed the myth that the screams were from the patient, like my granddad said. But that all changed about 2 years ago. Because the Longridge track isn't used anymore, a lot of teenagers hang around there to socialise. It's quite secluded. And there was 4 of us down there one night, and we started hearing noises coming from behind us. And it was then that we actually witnessed a lady walking about in a hospital gown crossing the track.
Now, apart from the 4 people who you said were at the Longridge Railway Track that night, will anyone else be able to confirm, your story? Do you have any proof?
If it hadn't happened to me personally, I would be sceptic about it too. But it's the same with any unnatural story. The fact of this event is, it's not just based upon hearsay, these are actual places. It's a real hospital, the story involves real locations, and if you were to research it, you'd find that a select number of people did disappear from the hospital in the 1930s, and the story is derived from fact.
Have you been back to the railway since the event took place?
No, none of us returned, and a lot of our friends refuse to go there now after we've told them the stories. I do still hear the noises at night, like I heard that night, and they do sound the same.